Remio is releasing a slate of new moderation tools that is going to make Remio a much better experience for everyone because you can moderate the behavior of the people around you. So we started with a very simple one for participants called mute. So all I need to do is click on the person in front of me, and then I click mute. So when I have muted that person, I cannot hear them anymore. So if somebody is harassing you or saying mean things or just generally being annoying and you don't want to listen to them, you can simply click on them and mute them and you won't hear them anymore. So I've re-entered Remio as an admin to show you what admin tools are available for moderation. So to access the admin tools, all you need to do is click on the person you would like to moderate, and then you see mute and kick user. So starting with mute, when you mute somebody as an admin, they will be muted for everybody, not just for you. And this is very important. Nobody will be able to hear that person. So this is something that you use when they are being loud and disruptive, maybe vulgar or even hateful, and you need them to be quiet very quickly. So when they're muted, feel free to warn them about their behavior and warn them that they will be kicked from the server if their behavior continues. If they ignore you, you can move on to other things. But for muting just a moment, you can unmute them just by clicking that button again, and they will not be unmuted until you do that. So they cannot unmute themselves in any way unless they leave the server and come back. And if they do come back, you do have other tools you can. So kick user. So I can kick this user, and I have a few different ways to do it. I can kick the person once, just meaning they're kicked back into the login scene, and nothing stops them from coming back in, but they are maybe just being disruptive and need to cool down for a little bit. You don't want them to be out forever, but you just need to get them out of the room. So yeah, feel free to kick them once. This is also helpful if somebody is AFK, away from keyboard, and it's breaking the flow of a game that's happening. So it's not necessarily because they're being rude or something, it's just they're in the room and somehow that's being disrupted. You just feel free to kick them once, it's fine. So as a server owner, you can also decide what additional actions you want to take. So if you want, you can suspend a user, meaning they will not come back into your server for 3 days by default. You can change this on the dashboard, adding additional days if you want to. But yeah, for a temporary period of time, they just won't be allowed back into your server. And really, it's your choice how you want to implement that because it's your server. You can also do a server ban, meaning that person can never come back into your server. Of course, you can change this on the dashboard as well. So that said, there are official Remio servers or open servers, and the only admins there are people who work for Remio. So they will enact these rules differently than someone owning a private server. And they do things like if they're being disruptive and the behavior is unacceptable, we will warn you every step of the way. So first we'll mute you and say this behavior is not acceptable. If you don't stop, we will kick you. We will ban you. Something like that. But again, you're responsible for your own server. It's up to you. So the last button you see is a Remio ban. As a server owner, you do not have access to that. So that is something only reserved for people who work in Remio, and that will only be used in extreme cases, which will be quite well documented. So you might be asking yourself, why do moderators get all of those additional tools, but other participants do not? And the reason is quite simple. So if we give all participants access to those moderation tools, it will be abused, I promise you. So that's why it's only in the hands of the moderators for now, but we're looking at further ways of making moderation easier on a personal level. Okay, so play safe out there, be good to each other, and hope to talk to you about more moderation tools soon.